We don't know much about what's happening in the MK party, but we know for sure that this happened. On the 10th of February, Duduzile Zuma posted this tweet. Commanders of 16 December 2023, the real co-founders of MK, I hear you loud and clear. I stand with you 100%. I will not forsake you. Submit or fight. We choose to fight. Very strange post, wouldn't you say? Those watching wondered, what is going on now? As can be expected, some MK party people were not pleased. Basically, she listens to the co-founders of MK. Anyone who is not part of the founders obviously starts feeling out of place, right? It's the messaging, and so the people started complaining. One said, stop promoting factions in MK. We are liberating our people, not dividing. We voted for MK, not co-founders. Tell us if it's a stokvel or movement for the people. Awa. He is right. That is factionalism. Most of you may wonder, well, Katlego, it is the MK party, so why does it matter? Here's why it matters. Duduzile Zuma, just like the rest of the leftist racists in this country, is not for a united South Africa. They're creating factionalism based on race first, meaning they are for blacks first. After blacks, they are there for their party. After their party, they are there for the founders. And then they are there for the inner circle of fellow corrupt members. And finally, they are there for family. And we need fellow South Africans to see this and to understand it before we go to the polls in the 2026 elections and even in the 2029 ones. Her behavior here is exactly how she and those like her behave on a national scale. This prodigal son Twitter user is starting to see the true colors of the founders of the MK party. Tribal, factional elitists. Another Twitter user says, this girl is toxic, really toxic. This is exactly what we have been saying. Sadly, it is not only her. There are many of them in the MK party, the EFF, and the ANC. These are people who, due to hatred and vengeance, are currently incapable of living in peace with others in general in jail. Someone says this woman is absolutely crazy, and he laughs. Based on his Twitter name, he is one of them. But they chose to vote for these absolutely crazy men and women. Why? Because many South Africans are walking around with hatred, pain from the past, and they are looking for revenge. Parties like the MK party somehow promise to bring about that vengeance, and hence they get lots of votes from black people who are walking around with wounds, not scars, from the past. And look, I understand. What happened to black people during South Africa's past is not a small matter. But we are not going to delete the past by repeating it or by retaliating. We are not going to heal by avenging. That is not what the goal should be. Like I said in the videos regarding Afrikaner farm murders, all of us, black, white, colored, and Indian, need to stop being tribal and racist first and start being South African first, seeking the well-being of all South Africans, because in that, we all benefit. Unless and until we all get this, there will always be white people pulling in one direction and black people voting for these types of parties. If you, like us, desire to see the well-being of South Africa and all her people, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and share our videos far and wide. In response to Duduzile Zuma, one of the biggest MK supporters on Twitter responded saying, members of the MK party who joined in December 2023 are as important as members of MK who joined on the 10th of February 2025. MK party is for all members. Our focus is to help our communities. Our focus is 2026 local government elections. Fight or submit. Those are the words that are supposed to be true, right? Any party should have this kind of mindset within its people and especially within its leadership. But not Duduzile. Duduzile does not seem like a normal person. I think she's not okay, guys. Anyone who has paid attention to her messaging will notice something is off about her, right? But many people supported him simply because she's a Zuma. She is Zuma's daughter and they love Zuma. They supported her because she was a racist just like them. She hates the ANC just like them. But the problem is she lacks morals. She simply is not leader material, guys. I know that you love her very much, but she just is not leader material. The last time I mentioned this, I was called jealous. Of what? Anyway, certain MK supporters were complaining about her, yes, but Duduzile was just getting started. She responded to that post by saying this: Floyd, I'm not scared of you. Tell your minions to F off, bloody Mafikizolos. By saying bloody Mafikizolos, she's insulting Floyd Shivambu. The insult Mafikizolo means you only arrived yesterday. Imagine, why does it matter when a member arrived? Should the focus not be their contribution to the cause? Do you think there are any morals here? Do you think that there is any maturity here? And yet, she is a member of parliament. Absolutely unbelievable. Another MK party supporter says, Duduzile Zuma is the biggest problem in the MK party. Full stop. They are starting to see through the leaders one by one. She clearly hasn't learned how to be a snake like her father, the one who smiles while killing you. To that, she responds, F you, Floyd. Imagine that. Instead of saying something that shows that she's a matured leader, that she's a lady, she shows that she's simply a gutter rat. She has a bathroom mouth for sure. Mind you, she is in her 40s. Another comrade on their team of rascals simply posted this: MK is so lucky to have been joined by this competent leader, referring to Floyd. With him alone, we are going to crash ANC and EFF from Gauteng and Limpopo. Duduzile's response to this: worst thing that happened to MK. Ma'am, no one even mentioned your name in the post, but you just started going crazy. Another comrade says, we respect our national officials and national high command. The MK party will never accept rogue elements to divide the party. United we stand, divided we fall. What does she say in response to that? She laughs and says, Wena mafikizolo. You'd swear the phone making all of these posts is in the hands of a young, immature child who doesn't know that this is going public and may have very negative implications. Anyway, another one simply posts this: you touch Floyd Shivambu, you're touching us. We are not here to nurse anyone's feelings. Ours is to liberate our people and no one will stop us. As usual, she quickly has a response and she says, go and touch yourself then. I mean, really? She later posts, they will expel me tomorrow. It is well with my soul. Oksalayo, Floyd is useless. Imagine how unhinged you have to be to behave and respond in this fashion. She obviously is not in good books with Floyd Shivambu, right? But she doesn't have the wisdom to be diplomatic. She's a loose cannon and she is in parliament. But when we mention that some people lack morals and should not be in parliament, we are called too judgmental, aren't we? Lacking morals and lacking discipline is one of the biggest signs that you are not fit to lead society. Just getting onto a public platform and just blurting out F you everywhere. What gives her the right to even do this? Well, she is daddy's 40-year-old little girl, isn't she? It is obvious that things are not going well in the MK party Stockville. It is obvious that the Zuma money gang is not getting along. She failed to keep it under wraps. She has exposed this for all to see. And now she was forced to apologize. Let's read the apology. As a committed and disciplined member of the Umkhonto weSizwe Party, I hereby extend this unconditional public apology to President Zuma and Umkhonto weSizwe Party leadership for the profanity used in my recent posts on X. While I hold strong and personal views, including serious concerns about internal party matters, my perceptions of how certain issues may be handled within the organization, especially by the party Secretary General, I fully recognize that such concerns should have been and shall be addressed through the proper internal channels as dictated by the core values and principles of the glorious movement of the people. I acknowledge that expressing these grievances publicly was unfortunate and may have undermined the unity, discipline, and respect that defines the MK Party. My profanity was not and should not be a reflection of the revolutionary discipline, respect, and solidarity that our organization under the esteemed leadership of President Jacob Zuma upholds. To President Jacob Zuma and the MK Party, the entire leadership, members, supporters of the MKP, and the people of South Africa, I wish to assure you that I never intended to harm the integrity of the party or the values it upholds. Hence, my deepest apology for any offense caused in this regard. Furthermore, I offer formal apologies to all the structures I serve in whose roles and responsibilities I carry with the utmost humility and commitment. I hope my apology is received in the spirit of accountability, revolutionary solidarity, and a genuine commitment to upholding the values of the MK Party. I am fully prepared and committed to cooperate with any internal processes deemed necessary by the party as part of my continued dedication to the ideals of discipline, respect, and unity. Nothing about apologizing to Floyd Shivambu, who is the real victim in this humiliating public spectacle. She didn't apologize to him, and she simply keeps moving on unbothered. Bear in mind that we are talking about an adult woman with kids, a woman in her late 40s. A person in her position should be wise enough to know that she needs to conduct herself a bit better. Again, I say, lacking morals and lacking discipline is one of the biggest signs that you are not fit to lead society. How then do we as South Africans vote for such people? Wake up, South Africa. If we want someone to lead the twerkers or the ill-mannered people, that is when we should look for people like Duduzile Zuma, not when looking for people to lead the country forward. Fellow citizens, remember all of this when you go to vote next year, please. I mean, a woman in her late 30s to 40s shaking her buttocks on social media for the world to see, that's who you think ought to lead this nation? Say whatever you want, but that is a sign that there is something wrong inside her head. Yet with all of this evidence, people will choose to elect her and her Money Clan party. How? Why? Dear South Africans, when the time comes to vote, we need to be very selective. A woman of this caliber being in parliament is a sign that we are not thinking hard enough, critically enough, and assessing well when we go to vote. We are choosing based on color, tribe, name, and so forth. We are not choosing based on morals and ethics, based on principles and policies, and that is very, very dangerous. We know that ignorant citizens vote for rubbish politicians, but the good thing is that between now and the 2026 local elections, we can inform more and more citizens that this is a bad way of selecting parties and leaders. Please help us to do this by liking this video and sharing it with more citizens. To support our work and keep us independent, please deposit to our bank accounts or purchase our t-shirt. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Katlego. This is Citizen Concerned, and until next time, beware of the comrades.